It's 3 a.m. You're lying in bed, replaying a conversation from 6 hours ago, finding mistakes you didn't make, constructing replies you'll never send. And the most unsettling part? Tomorrow night, you'll do it again. Not because you want to, because your brain won't let you stop. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly why your brain does this. Not as a flaw, but as a survival tool so powerful that modern life has turned it against you. A year ago, I sat in a parked car for 45 minutes after a completely normal work meeting. By the time I got out, my brain had manufactured an entire crisis. Elevated heart rate, tight chest, the whole thing. I wasn't getting fired. The meeting was fine, but my brain had convinced me otherwise. If you've ever lost sleep over a problem that didn't exist yet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull. In 2001, neuroscientist Marcus Rachel made a strange discovery. When his subjects stopped doing tasks and just rested, their brains didn't go quiet. A coordinated network lit up, the default mode network. Its job: simulate the future, replay the past, imagine what others are thinking. 50,000 years ago, this was your superpower. The human who could simulate tomorrow's hunt survived. Their genes propagated. You're here because your ancestors were champion overthinkers. The default mode network is why you can plan, learn from one mistake, and anticipate reactions. And it's also why you were awake at 3 a.m. last Tuesday. Here's where the mechanism gets stranger. Every time your DMN runs a simulation and reaches a conclusion, even a false one, your brain gives you dopamine, the same reward chemical that keeps gamblers pulling the lever. But here's the trap. Real problem solving has an endpoint. Identify, solve, act, close the loop. Overthinking never closes. The problem isn't real, so there's no action to take. Your brain just keeps running simulations, keeps getting dopamine, keeps convincing itself it's doing something useful. Psychologists call this rumination, and they distinguish it from reflection. Reflection asks, "What did I learn?" Rumination asks, "Why did I say that?" Then replays the whole thing again. Reflection has an output. Rumination only has a loop. And your brain cannot tell the difference. Both feel productive. Both trigger dopamine. So you keep thinking, right up until the clock says it's been 2 hours and you haven't moved. So sit with this for a second. If your brain rewards rumination the same way it rewards actual problem solving, then every minute you overthink isn't just wasted. It's training your brain to prefer the loop. And there's one more layer. Psychologist Elaine Aron studied high sensory processing sensitivity, the trait of absorbing more detail, feeling emotions more intensely. Her finding: the same neural architecture that makes someone deeply empathetic and creative also makes them deeply vulnerable to rumination. The circuits overlap. This is why overthinking correlates with intelligence. It's not that smart people overthink because they're smart. It's that the same hardware enabling deep thinking also enables deep spiraling. You can't have one without being vulnerable to the other. You don't overthink because something is wrong with you. You overthink because your brain processes the world at a depth most brains don't reach. The problem is that the world you're applying it to, notifications, emails, futures that never arrive, was never supposed to be processed at this depth. So the real question isn't, why do I overthink? It's, what happened to the world that made this superpower a liability? 50,000 years ago, the threats your DMN simulated were real. Predators, rival tribes. The simulations had stakes. The conclusions led to action. Today, the threats are infinite and imaginary. That email, that look, that thing you said 3 years ago. Your brain treats every single one as a survival threat. The cortisol release is identical, but there's nothing to fight or flee from. That grudge you've carried for years. You're not angry at what happened. You're angry at your most recent draft. Your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do. The world just changed faster than evolution could keep up. That sounds bleak. It isn't. Because you can interrupt the DMN, not through willpower, but through task-positive network activation. The moment you engage your brain in something external, the DMN quiets down. Go for a walk, cook something, have a real conversation. And here's the deeper payoff. The goal isn't to stop thinking. It's to recognize that not every thought deserves to be chased. The difference between the overthinker and the deep thinker isn't the volume of thoughts. It's the ability to look at a thought and say, this one isn't real. I'm not following this one today. So the next time it's 3 a.m. and you're running simulations about futures that don't exist, ask yourself, is this thought real? Or is this my DMN doing what it was built to do? Running a simulation about a world that no longer exists? Your brain doesn't overthink because it's broken. It overthinks because it's powerful, and it has never learned the difference between a predator and a passive-aggressive email. Now at least you know. And that's why. New question drops Tuesday, and again,